Welcome to Mentors.
Hi, I'm Kiki Winters. I'm your hostess of Mentors. Today we have a very special person that has been a big influence in my life, and that's his life mission actually is to be a mentor for others, a philanthropist, and he's used to have a magazine called Philanthropy, and I met him. I think it was like 2011 or so, maybe 12. But yeah, he was a big influence in my life. And so I had to have him on Mentors because he has been a mentor for me, working with other people and networking with people and just how to make it in this world. And he's been a big influence for a lot of children, a teacher, entrepreneur in his own right. He's got two wonderful books out, and please welcome Bob Hopkins. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here.
Thank you, Kiki.
How are you doing today?
Well, it's doing great. It's Friday afternoon. I don't know if anybody cares in your audience because it could be Monday when they finally receive this. But anyway, it's Friday afternoon for us, and it's been a great week. Accomplished a lot, I suppose, and I think you sometimes count the value that you have in life by the last moment of your day, especially on a day that's been full. So how's your week been? Have you had a good time? Have you had a good experience?
Yes, thank you so much. Well, I want to talk about this time that we were raising money for your charity when we had a gallery over at a mall called Valley View in Dallas, Texas, which has since been destroyed. But we um, we talked to you about your charity, and we did a fundraiser and everything. And then, well, I'll just tell it like how it happened was our gallery is called Sky Pony, and we have a horse for a logo. And one time, my husband and I were walking out of Cavender's. It's a it's a cowboy western place where good boot good place to buy boots and western wear. There's a horse out front, and so as we walked by the horse, I slapped it on its rear and I said, "We need a horse like this for our mascot." And a few days later, you gave me a call and said, "Would you be interested in a horse? I have one sitting on my front porch. Would you like it?" And so, anyway, I went over there and it was a life-size horse. And I think I got a horse trailer and everything to move it, but I moved it over and you had it decoupaged with your philanthropy magazine covers. And it was, I started by removing all those magazine covers, and then now I blinged it, and it is sitting in front of our gallery, and I named that horse Sky, and you named it Philly for your philanthropy. And so anyway, I love that horse, and you put it in your latest book of our horse and me sitting on top of it with my husband Doug. So um, that is just one of many stories that we've had together. But I want you to talk about your wonderful book, and you'll be having a book signing at Sky Pony Gallery on November the 12th. And so, why don't you begin by talking about your book and um, what it was like putting all that together of all the wonderful people that are in there.
Great. Well, thank you, Kiki. I'm so glad to be here, and you bring back definitely positive memories. That horse was an incredible experience for me. I bought the horse. No, the horse was given to me actually from people from Santa Fe. At one time, they had decoupaged horses in Santa Fe that represented different concepts and different themes. And one of the people who had an extra horse, I told him I want that horse. And so we brought it from Santa Fe actually to Dallas. And you're right, I decoupaged it with um, different front covers of my magazine, Philanthropy in Texas. And I did 12 issues, 12 years of Philanthropy in Texas. And I had 75 copies, obviously, of the different magazines that I produced. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to decoupage this horse with all the front covers of the magazine. And it was incredible. And I moved that horse all over Texas. It was in banks and it was in hotels and it was different places, especially at my events. So I could tell everybody, look at this horse, it's decoupaged. And I hope that we're going to be able to show it here today, just so that people can see what it looks like now. Because what it looks like now is nothing like it was before. But you know, Kiki, when you think of the word philanthropy, and a lot of people don't know what it is, you've got to have some sort of visuals that make it come alive and have the experience like, oh my goodness, is this what philanthropy really looks like? And by the way, Kiki, you don't know this, maybe I don't, maybe if you do, I have horses, and I have a horse named Philanthropy. And he is a beautiful horse, and I'm going to show you maybe a picture of it before we get off here today, too. He's now 14 years old, and he is named that because Tracy Carruth of the Carruth Ranch was a breeder of Arabian horses. And she actually donated sperm from the horse, her stud horse, to my horse so that I could get a gift from her. And it was a philanthropic gift, which means I didn't have to pay for it. And it was probably worth $5,000 or something like that. But we got a horse out of it, and that horse is now rideable. And I'm teaching children horseback riding on my horse Philanthropy. So horses seems to be part of my life, and I've had horses for a long time. And you have one sitting in front of your wonderful showcase shop there at Willow Bend, and it's all blinged now, which means that you got rid of all of the paper and you started putting diamonds and jewels and all kinds of things to make this extremely visible for people when they walk by your shop. They look at it and they go, well, I wonder what's inside. And so it served its purpose, which means to advertise you, but also to bring out memories of the word philanthropy, which is really what I want to talk about today.
Okay, let's talk about philanthropy. Your that is your life, philanthropy. So
And how do you spell it? It's Philantropy, philanthropy. And people who do that kind of work, and it isn't work, but it's called good work, it's called volunteer work, it's called giving work. People who do that are called philanthropists. And many people hesitate to call themselves that because they think it's about money. And what I have learned over the years, Kiki, and this is very important for everybody to know, it's not about money. And that's why I wrote my first book, Philanthropy Misunderstood. You all have misunderstood what it's supposed to mean, and I have misunderstood it too until I looked it up in the dictionary, and just says love of humankind, love of mankind, love of womankind, love of people kind, which means no matter what you do, when you say hello to a person, you help them across the street, you pick up trash that they've left behind, or whatever it is, it's a philanthropic act, and you call yourself a philanthropist. So anyway, that's how I got started, and that's what I know. And my new book, Philanthropy Understood, are just stories of people who do good things. And that's why you're in that book, is because you and Doug have done major, wonderful things throughout your lives as far as giving back to people is concerned. And what by you actually taking my horse and making it something significant for you is a gift that I was able to give to you. And that means that I'm a philanthropist. And now what you're doing is you're giving it to the world by showing everybody what it could be and what the word itself is. So thank you very much. I appreciate your spreading the word along with me.
that is a beautiful explanation, and you're right. That word is misunderstood for some reason. And but you are a teacher, and it shows the way that you speak, and you've always been working with children. And so, what what are you teaching the children now on at your ranch on horseback?
Right. Well, it's really crazy. I don't know why I came up with the idea. I have a master's in speech also. I mean, in Spanish also. I was born on the Mexican border. I studied in Spain. I taught at the University of Tec de Monterrey in Guanajuato, Mexico, and I speak Spanish almost every day. Everybody wants to learn Spanish, especially in Texas, because 20% of our population actually comes from some sort of Hispanic heritage of some kind or another. In fact, we are right now in Hispanic Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, and I'm having a party on October the 14th, actually, that you're going to be at, Kiki, and it's going to be at the Latino Cultural Center in Dallas. But I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to make sure that Latinos are celebrated for exactly what they are and who they are. So anyway, Spanish is important to me. And so if you come out riding horses with me, we'll be talking in Spanish.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is that um, the celebration where my friends and your friends, uh, Julia and Charles, are they going to be doing their flamenco dancing and presentation at that event also?
They are. You
The
know, I've
same
known
event?
Julia for 30 years. And so I watched her when she was just starting her nonprofit organization called Flamenco Fever. And she has now a huge studio and she teaches flamenco dancing and she does flamenco dancing, et cetera, et cetera. And it's sponsored actually partially by the city of Dallas's um, organization of arts. And so they actually help um, Julia show what her craft is and all about dancing. But anyway, yes, at the Latino Cultural Center on October the 14th, Charles and Julia will be playing and dancing the flamenco dancing to give us a little bit of flavor as we talk and significantly recognize those people who are in my books, and there's two of them. 18 Hispanics are in my book that we're going to celebrate that day for all that they do to change the world in Dallas and Texas.
Yes, we were fortunate enough to have them dance at Sky Pony Gallery last Sunday, and we had a very good turnout, and everyone was so happy to be there. It was just a very loving event, and they gave a history lesson on flamenco dancing and how it got started, and it was just so interesting. And then they talked about their they were going to well they had this singer and a musician that were from Spain, and they were incredible. So with them with the artist residency program that they've developed, and so they're traveling around with them at various places, putting on these wonderful events. It was fabulous.
Right. And
So
you may not know this, but I did three book signings in Mexico because I'm featuring three different people in three different cities in Mexico. And Charles and Julia went with me and actually took the books to Mexico for me. And they performed at every one of the book signings that I had. And I had them in León, Guanajuato. I had them in San Miguel de Allende, and I also had one in Guadalajara. So we got to travel together this last summer, this last June, and do all that together. So anyway, they're incredible people. Yes.
what a beautiful trip. Oh, I love that area.
Uh-huh.
I took jewelry course there for quite a few months. Learned the process of silversmithing, and spent quite a bit of time going back and forth to Guanajuato as well, and learning the history. Oh, it's so rich in history. It's undestroyed. It's just uh, beautiful and rich, and
Mhm.
you just can't describe it. You just have to go and be there to experience it. But what a wonderful trip. So,
Good.
and you want to talk about more about your book. I'm excited that you're going to have a book signing with us. So,
Yes. I am too.
That was a long time in the making for you. It's a beautiful, beautiful book. Do you have a well, I don't know if you could show a copy of it while we're talking, but I will at the end if you can't, but
I
I know
can.
it's
In fact, I'm getting up right now to go get
okay.
a copy of the book so you can see it. This is my second book. I did my first book called Philanthropy Misunderstood, and I wanted to do a sequel. I didn't know that I had enough in me to do a sequel because everybody in my books are actually friends of mine. I've known them. I've worked with them. I've volunteered with them. And this is my book. It's called Philanthropy Understood. It's a coffee table book, Kiki, and it's
It
a beautiful piece of work. I
it
worked a
is
long time and
beautiful.
hard on this book, and it's my second one. But what I want to talk about more than my book at the moment is I want to talk about my legacy. So, as you know, I work with youth, and I have realized, and you probably know too, that most people are not philanthropists, or
Yes.
if they are, they don't know it because they deny the fact that because they don't have money, they're not able to give a big check to somebody. So my purpose, and I teach college, I teach young people as well before college, that philanthropy is about who you are as a person, what kind of things you care about, how you treat other people, what you do for others to make sure that their lives are a little bit better. So I actually asked my students, young students and old students, to write 100 people's names down and to circle the top 10 that actually have mentored or actually have contributed to their life in some way or another that's positive. And then I want them to write a letter to those people because I think that it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I have learned that, Kiki, because if I didn't know you, I wouldn't be able to do an awful lot of the things I do. For instance, have a book signing at your wonderful space, Sky Pony, on November the 12th. But anyway, I want children to understand that it is best to give than to receive, or it's better to give than to receive. On the other hand, though, I don't think you can be a good giver if you're not a good receiver. So when somebody offers me something, I never deny it. I always say, thank you so much. I really appreciate this, even though I don't need another whatever, another candle, or another flower, or another enchilada. But I take it anyway because people who are givers want to receive the joy of the gift, and they can't receive it unless you take it. So I want
Yeah.
everybody out there to remember that is that it's very important that if I offer you something, you take it and you thank me for it because it gives me really a good feeling. But
No, we
what we teach children is that effort at a very early age. And they say when you teach a child to do anything under the age of 12, you're going to have that person forever. So I had a little girl say, that same thing. If you create a volunteer under the age of 12, you'll have a volunteer forever. And so I tell that to people and to children. And you can't believe the behavior change that we see in children who are in fourth and fifth grade once they start a process of understanding philanthropy. And the best part of it, of course, is giving of yourself.
yes, it's wonderful that you teach that to children because it is better. I mean, it makes you feel good to give, and more so than receiving because when you, like you said, when you don't need another candle or whatever. So, but it's the person giving with their heart and their love, just to offer you anything. It can be just sharing time with each other is a gift. So, um, anyway, I'm fortunate to be your friend and have you in my life, and just because of your kind heart and your giving nature, and you teaching it to others too. It is better to give than receive, and it's a joy. So it's a bond between each other, like um, the infinity symbol of the interaction of the figure eight with the energy flowing between each other. And so, um, what else, Bob, as far as teaching these children on your ranch and on horseback? What an interesting concept. Where did you come up with that idea of just
Well,
getting kids out in nature and having fun with each other, or what?
Well, people like to ride horses, number one. No, everybody in Texas thinks they need to ride a horse at some point or another, but more and more people that I talk to have never even seen a horse, or sometimes some of them haven't even been on a horse. We have a lot of international students here in the United States too, and I have a lot in classes who have never been on a Texas ranch. So I get to take them out there just to show them something. And that's part of my philanthropy and I don't charge necessarily to take kids out and ride a horse or pet a horse or help feed the horse or help pick up after the horse and clean the stalls. But I do it, and as everybody's got something that they can give, and that's what one of the things that I can give and do. And then, of course, because of the rising need in our country for us to all have a second language, and it happens to be Spanish, since we have many, many people here in the United States who don't speak English yet. And we need to communicate with them and communicate in a way, of course, that they can understand many of the things of America and many of our values. Plus, I think it gives them a compliment when you try to speak their language. They appreciate so much that you're trying to communicate with them in their language. I just think it's a gift in itself when you try to do that. So I have all people all the time say, I wish I could speak Spanish. I wish I could speak Spanish. Well, now you can just call me up at my telephone number, 214-502-0306, 214-502-0306, and call me and we can talk about it. But you can also email me at bhopbobtx@yahoo.com, and I can send you the information and the flyer that talks about that experience on my horses and the fact that I'm teaching Spanish. And you know what? There's just not a lot of people doing that. There's not a lot of people teaching Spanish on horseback, and so I've decided to be different.
Well, I'd like to get uh, I'd like to uh, film you sometime in class with your kids out there. Maybe I can come out there sometime when you're doing that.
We're doing it every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, every Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to be doing it through the first of the year. So, first of 2020, 25, 26, which I mean, 2026, which will be, and probably up until January the 15th, something like that, every Saturday. So, you're welcome to do it. It's at the Palmarosa Ranch in Dallas, which is actually in close to Mesquite and Balch Springs. And so it's not a long drive if you live in downtown Dallas, like 20 minutes. And if you come out at 9 o'clock, we'll be there with horses and we teach how to ride, not only ride, but how to saddle, how to bridle, how not to walk behind a horse, how to treat them. Horses are smarter than you think. And so I think since horses are also used for therapy, that it's a great way for a child to get in touch with who they are and what they're capable of when they talk in not only English, but also another language, and then be able to ride horses at the same time. It's just really a fun experience. So I came up with the idea. We'll see how it goes.
What a beautiful idea. So we'll have your phone number and your email in the description below the video here, so
Okay.
you can don't worry about getting your word out. So, and what else do you have on your front burner?
Well, my front burner, and the next time I'm going to see you, of course, is going to be in October. And I don't know that we should have necessarily a special month to honor the Hispanic populations of Dallas or of Texas or the United States, since it's a national holiday kind of a thing or a national contribution or to those people who have made up much of what we consider to be the good parts of America. Right now, we're listening to the bad parts about bad people hurting people, and they happen to be from another country, many of them coming from Hispanic countries. And I don't like that. I don't like focusing on the negative. My book is not about the negative. It's all about the positive and the people that are there. And there's 18 Hispanics. If you come to my event on October the 14th, you're going to meet some of those people that make a difference in Dallas. And I think I have a couple flying in from Mexico who are going to be here to be able to talk to you and talk to everybody about what is it they are doing to make a difference in this world. And so I encourage people to get to know, the Hispanic that's next to you or across the way from you, to welcome them, to talk nicely to them instead of having them have to listen to the negative that's happening on television and radio these days.
Are you going to be a speaker there as well?
I will. I'm going to be in charge of the event, and we actually are going to have the flamenco dancers, as I told you. We're going to show a film of the people in the book who are significant in many, many ways, and um, many of them are well known in the city. And I don't want to say their names because I'm not sure all of the people that I'm going to mention will be there for sure, and I don't want people coming thinking they're going to meet somebody and them not be there yet. So we're not really ready for that part yet.
Okay, well, we're close to running out of time, but sure do thank you for talking with us today. And uh, I'll be out of town on the 14th, but I would have loved to have been there. But I know it's going to be a fabulous event, and I'm also looking forward to you at your book signing November 12th at Sky Pony Gallery in Plano, Texas. So we'll advertise you real well and get the word out. And good luck with your beautiful book. We have a copy of it at Sky Pony Gallery for everyone to see. And I show people all the time how about that beautiful book, and also um, our horse Sky is outside in front of our gallery. So when I see that horse, I think of Bob Hopkins, and I'm very grateful for you in my life, and you've been a mentor to me and a mentor to many other people. So
Okay.
thank you for all you do for this world and keeping it a better place.
Thank you, Kiki. I
And we'll see
appreciate
you.
being your friend.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So bye for now, Bob.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.